Your Pokemon will absorb damage in battle, then pay it back double. Bide is terrible in this game.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not good.
I wound up wasting it, giving it to my Squirtle, and then replacing it with something
Just
later
as I
on.
thought, you're Pokemon champ material.
Yeah, it's the gym guy. We didn't talk about the gym guy.
No, I totally forgot to talk about the gym guy. Your secret dad. Winning trainers, Greg Babb and Hundera. He's not your dad. He's some
even
guy.
Anyone's theory?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody would ever have a terrible theory like that.
No, I mean, a lot of people think that Professor Oak is your dad.
It's only 50 in here. I keep thinking it's 500, but it's actually way cheaper than that.
It's a museum. It's for public
That is one magnificent fossil.
I love it. Where do I get my own?
It's a dead
these,
pterodactyl. Aerodactyl fossil, a primitive and rare Pokemon.
I love that they bothered to make these, though. That's like a lot of detail.
Yeah, some of these are really
so
nice,
good.
actually. Yeah.
I love these missing
Kabutops, fossil, a primitive and rare Pokemon. And then part of the Challenger is up here. It's destroyed. Meteorite that fell on Mt.Moon. Moonstone?
Why would you have a question mark on a museum placard like that?
July 20th, 1969. It was the summer of love. The first lunar landing. I bought a color TV to watch it.
You're really cool, Grandpa.
What's so special about it?
It's the entire Challenger.
We have a space exhibit now. Yeah, I forgot the Challenger that Pixel Men walked into because this thing is teeny fucking tiny.
It's a model.
Yeah, Pikachu soon, I promise.
I want a
Pikachu.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm the girlfriend.
Yeah, all right,
I
fine.
want a Pikachu. It's so cute. I asked my... Oh, it's his
not.
dad.
Yeah, it's not a girlfriend.
It's your voice now.
I asked my daddy to catch me one. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Somebody said Mr. Mime is Red's dad.
No. I actually, at one point, before TV Tropes required you to have an account with them, because I'm not doing that, I put on their Wild Mass Guessing for Pokemon this, Lugia is Red's dad. And then I waited about 5 years and searched through Google just for someone using that concept and found a DeviantArt fan fiction where it's true.
Yeah.
So I like to pretend that was my doing.
I don't think Bide is super broken. I want to say Rage might be. That
One of them.
might be
They're
what you're
like
thinking
the same
of.
thing in my brain.
I can't remember. Maybe Bide is actually super broken and I messed that up. Also, yes, they occupy the same space in my brain, which is pointless and I don't want to use it. Because it's such a fucking weird attack.
Yeah, that thing where you get hit.
Yeah. So Shorts Guy killed us the last time.
Oh yeah, it's because he's like the 90th percentile.
No, he isn't. That's a
guys.
different dude.
That's a different youngster.
Yeah, that's a different youngster.
I like that he's got his hat. Wait a minute. He's got his hat to the side, but the little snapback part is on the side.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
minute.
backwards, but then also slightly to the side, and they just didn't spread it right.
That's weird.
He is so much. He's so many levels of gangster. Like just his gangsta layer is deeper than you have ever seen. And it's so incredibly high that it's just warping reality around him in an attempt to make him cooler than is physically possible in our universe.
Every car he steps into gets immediately pimped.
Yeah. It becomes a low rider, but then also a high ride somehow. Just
And then gets the flames down the sides.
Yeah, and stripes.
And the spinning
like just
rims.
hundreds of stripes.
I just think his hat was a factory reject that
Yeah,
he got
I mean that
for
could
cheap.
be it too. Every Rattata he owns is within the top percentile.
Every Rattata is the best he can be.
Any Rattata he stares at immediately gets buff as shit.
Every Rattata is valid and good, and I love them. Look at their little feet.
I have a shiny
little clawsy
Rattata
paws.
somewhere, like one
They're
for
green,
late
right?
generations. Yeah, they're one of the pea green ones.
That's fine. It
They-
looks okay on a thing that's normally purple.
I guess it's one of those things where it's like there are so many Pokemon that just have that ugly, Split Pea Supreme.
Yeah, some of the shiny options are
a
not
lot
great.
of them, like dozens of them have that.
Yeah.
It's something that they gave to Zubat. Also, Zubat has that.
Yeah, I have a shiny Golbat. I made the best of the ugly color scheme. I named her Matcha, since she's green tea.
Well, Golbat's at least not too bad. Crobat turns pink instead of purple,
which is
I think,
nice,
which
but
is
it would
actually
lose.
not that
It would
bad.
lose the matcha theme.
Yeah,
for her
no,
names.
it would
This
stop
is
making
why-
sense.
Yeah, I haven't evolved her.
So you can always be friends with her, but never that close.
Or I could give her an Everstone as a promise ring that will wait till later.
We'll wait till never.
Yeah.
It's a promise to never go that far. Trash King, level 13.
Trash King's our real starter.
It's so far, kinda. He's our second Pokemon anyway, so it's not that far off.
Yeah. So I'm eventually going to have to go in and do like art of the results of the stream. It's just gonna be like our boy Hundera.
Trash King.
And yeah, it's just gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to put like a little crown on Trash King, and Crimbo W is gonna be off on the side,
Williams.
eating from a can of beans and smoking a cigar, and he doesn't care about nothing. He's not involved in this.
Yeah, something like that.
He doesn't care.
Somebody said Lugia is already the dad to the legendary birds, by the way.
Is that part of the mythos?
I think
like
that's
their
the mythos
Arceus
in the
that way?
movies. I don't think that's
I
actually
don't
the
know.
mythos
I think
in the
it's just
games.
he's stronger than them, is the thing. So they listen to him. It's
Well,
not like
yeah.
he created them.
Yeah,
I don't know actually.
yeah,
though.
I don't know. It's one of those weird, like, well, can we talk about whether or not the movies are canon, which they aren't. They never are.
Yeah.
Movies and anime are not canon
To each other,
to
even sometimes.
even each other half the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Honestly, like there's like Robo Mewtwo in episodes of the anime, but otherwise it's like, I mean, a bunch of that stuff never comes
That look
back.
you gave me, it's so intriguing.
Like the little girl in the third movie is supposed to have been a friend of Ash's family, like her dad and Ash's mom used to be friends or something. It's like she never shows up again.
No, and there's never any mention of
Yeah, it's like they're not even canon to each other. My logic for trying to prod people towards the weirdest fucking possible dad for Ash was that, hey, Ash is this chosen one, right? That can make these orbs light up to summon a Lugia. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe just there's a reason that a legendary bird appears before him on the first day of his journey. You know, it's just Uncle Ho-Ho just sort of going around.
Ho-Oh.
No, but his uncle's name is Ho-Ho. Uncle Ho-Ho just coming around to keep an eye on him. Because his dad just, he was busy that day. Couldn't come to the ball game.
I guess.
If we ever wind up streaming a second-gen game, we're naming Ho-Oh Uncle Ho-Ho, and you can't stop me. I don't know why I find that name so funny now. Maybe because you tried to correct me.
I guess I wouldn't want to try and stop you for that.
Did Trash King turn against us when I wasn't looking?
No, this is some other knitter.
I
Trash
know.
King's stronger than this one.
You know what? Yeah, he's at least level. Is he 11
I think
still?
he's 13.
All right. So this guy can fuck off. Crimbo's not. I mean, he just has bubble. He'll do better with time. It took me as a kid like a year of playing to figure out that you can use select to move the stuff on the move set, by the way. Which, I don't know, something about realizing that was revolutionary to me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think did the ability to move where your moves are on the list have any effect on any of the memory things going on in this game, do you think? Like how your name has effects and stuff? I don't think it does that anyone's noticed, but do you think... I don't know.
I kind of doubt that it would. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. It seems like there would have to be a number value assigned for order of the moves. And that would be,
but
more
again,
data crammed in.
Still, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Be nice.
So the last design is...
Hey!
All right. The last design, people more or less think that she was just kind of a draft for what the girl character would have looked like if they had space to give you the option of gender this early on.
I don't know if they actually had that concept going on. But
I think they wanted to, but they didn't have
surprised.
memory space for it, and so the last design kind of wound up being the design for Blue in Pokemon Special. Which is confusing because sometimes they name her Green in the translation and then they change back when they switch translation companies or something. But the girl in Pokemon Special is basically just the lass in a different outfit. And the idea is that maybe they were both based off of early design sketches of what if you could choose boy or girl. So, I don't know. I just figured I'd bring that up. Lass is also more or less the design inspiration for in the anime. I want to say the character in English is named Giselle, who is the top girl of that Pokemon Academy, just sitting out there in the hell mists. What was up with that, by the way? They're walking through the woods and suddenly are surrounded by the mists of the devil, and then it clears and they're in front of this place that's just run by this girl who puts you onto like treadmills with like shock therapy. I could be making that part up. Was there shock therapy involved in her study groups?
I don't think she did it, but I think there may have been.
Yeah, but like there was just this torturous prep school out in the woods, the misty woods. and that was like the only girl that Ash ever showed even the remotest attraction to. I think she was a witch. I think she was just a witch ensnaring all these children and then keeping them here for reasons unknown. Because Ash isn't interested in other human beings.
There's also the fact that in that episode, Pikachu sounds really different.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a completely different voice for Pikachu.
The early episodes in the dub, they did shuffle around a bit, so I'll believe it. They shuffled a lot of stuff around. Like a lot of the voices we kind of know of being like the 4Kids dub Pokemon voices that were eventually the voices that other dubbers imitated when they switched away from 4Kids. Like, if you go into like the first 5 episodes, it's completely different.
Well, Pikachu's always the same. That's the Japanese.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh, that's
the
true.
Japanese voice.
So there's no explanation for that. I guess just
No.
I guess the Pikachu voice person was sick that day.
Yeah, I never actually looked into it. I don't know if it's that they just couldn't get her for that particular episode, or if the localizers actually attempted to go out of their way to dub over Pikachu just for one episode to see how it was. But it's like, the Pikachu sounds completely different than that. That, by the way, is why when Pikachu refers to Ash, even in the English version, the reference to Ash is Pikapi. Because it's Satoshi.
Which, if you never noticed, the name Ash is sort of in there. In that. And Gary is kind of in the name Shigeru, which is the Japanese version. And this never caught on. I tried to push this for a very small amount of time. Just Gary Oak is based in name and nothing else really on Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
So I just
and Ash
tried
is
to push
Satoshi Tajiri.
Yeah, I tried to push for a while. Every time you have like a picture of Gary, just imagine the creator of Mario doing it instead. Just sitting in a car full of cheerleaders or whatever. And no one else cared. I thought it was funny. Metapod.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to...
Have we even seen a Metapod yet? Was I not paying attention when Metapods
No,
appeared?
we haven't seen Metapod
Yeah.
yet.
Oh man, look at him. He's like a fish jumping out of the water. He's so shiny. He's got that nose in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the back nose or is it a spine on his back?
He's got the weird lumpy cross-hatched face thing, and he's kind of turned differently. Like he's wiggling to face you, because normally they show him as being completely stiff and like a crescent shape.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got a swiveling neck, and he doesn't have that in later games.
So by the way, the Pikachu in that goes from like Pikapi to Pikachu, like out of nowhere. Like the voice is just real
in just
weird.
The episode with the
just
Academy.
That one episode,
which is also the Academy that Jesse and James had dropped out of. They
I think
just
that was an
threw
address
all of this shit. Yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of retcons, and they probably just lie constantly too. So, like, you can never take anything seriously that they say about their past unless you see it happen. But like, so you got this fucked up academy out in the woods where they torture you if you don't do good enough, and it's basically you never see a teacher, and it's kind of just run by this girl who everyone thinks is enchantingly beautiful.
There's enough people around. It's not just run by her. She's just the most popular girl.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
school.
but do you ever see a teacher?
I don't know if you do. You do see an adult. There is an adult
Where?
there, though. There's an adult who's part of the student body who's like sitting under a tree, and they make reference to him at one point where
oh my god, it's Wayside School bullshit again.
They point over and they're like, if you don't graduate, that's what happens to you. And he's like sitting there with thick glasses looking through books with a bunch of children, and it's like a 30 or 40-year-old man, and they're like, they say his parents could barely afford to send him here, and he was so ashamed that he failed a class that he never left. Or something.
My god, this just continues my theory.
He just continues to stay here and try and do his best and tries to pass, but he never makes it every year.
Jesus Christ. And yet somehow Jesse and James escaped from that and became whatever the fuck they came out to be.
A bicycle gang.
Oh yeah, that happened. I love that, by the way. I love all of the Rocket backstory episodes from the early
all of the,
days.
Like the really obviously fake ones where they're just screwing with people half the time. Yeah.
I mean, the bike gang recognized them. So at some point that happened, sort of, but maybe not the way they were thinking.
Snowflake Soup and the Little Match Girl and a Dog of Flanders and...
Oh yeah, no, anytime they're lying, it's amazing too.
Like, James literally admits to being a child and dying in a church because he's, like, froze to death, and then they're like, but James, you're right here, and he goes, oh yeah. It's like,
I think they do. I don't think he's as dumb as he lets on. He's doing it on purpose because it's funny.
Fucking Jesus. I don't know.
I love those. Just the idea that they were. Do you think that Jessie was in the hazy witch school before or after she went to dog obedience school for nurses?
Because she wanted to be a nurse, but they sent her to the Shanty school on accident. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they did.
That's stupid. Everything about the anime is so fucking dumb.
No, everything about Jessie and James is like that. They just kept falling into paperwork errors or coincidences or hallucinations they made up later to cover for things. I would love, and again,
you're not wearing shorts.
I'm not. You're right.
No,
I'm not
pants.
telling the crowd what I'm wearing.
We're both wearing pants. Okay.
Well, I'm wearing leggings.
Yeah,
they're not really
enough.
Pants. Hey, original
it's a
Shiro.
shitbird.
Yeah, he's so
fucking
floppy.
Shitbird.
Actually, I want to say his Popka name is Assbird. For some reason, I don't remember.
Well, that's pretty close to Shitbird.
I think it's just because in the first episode of the anime, they're dicks. So I just call them Assbirds.
They're fucking dicks in every episode of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was saying, oh yeah, I constantly do this thing. I'm just like, I want to make a Pokemon fan comic about this bit of lore. I just want somebody to do one that just tries to reconcile all of the things that Jesse and James say about their pasts into one narrative of, oh, I went to nursing school, but it was for animals, so I left. And then I went into like prep school, but it was run by like a demon, so I left. So I went to a bike gang, but for some reason I left.
Somebody pointed out in Sun and Moon, at the beginning of the game, Nebby and Lily are being attacked by Spearow too.
Oh,
that's a real thing
Spearow.
that happens. Like, they made it official. They're just Assbirds.
They are.
Yeah. Finally,
right.
Fuck. I've been waiting for Water Gun.
Finally, some water pressure.
Yeah, now we don't have to like vomit bubbles at people.
No, now we can vomit entire streams.
Now we can shoot small amounts of water.
You need to not put your strongest dudes in front.
No, I know. I just wanted him to level up.
Okay.
That is the entire reason he's there. I know. Well, if I spread it around too much, it's going to be really, really difficult to get through certain people without grinding.
Yeah.
I want to, like, because it's a stream, I don't want to, like, be stuck.
Well, when we get to that
it.
patch of grass, we want to rummage around for Jigglypuffs anyways.
Red
Even
version?
if we...
I don't remember. I'm
instead.
pretty sure Jigglypuff isn't here. I think it might be Mankey instead.
Okay, maybe that's where I'm thinking Mankeys show up. But we could use a Mankey. Those actually would be pretty good for this early on.
They get fighting type attacks, that's about it.
Jigglypuff
Mankeys are
isn't
actually
really
kind
useful.
of shit, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're cool Pokemon, I do like them, but at the same time, they're not particularly good.
They'll do decently against any Geodudes in the moon.
In the moon.
The moon!
Yeah, when we go to the moon to fight the Geo
Yeah,
monsters.
and then there's that nerd down there with his fossils in the moon.
The moon nerd.
Yeah, the moon nerd. That's what his name is. No, I don't know what his name is.
His
They
name is
probably
Super
named him in
Nerd.
Fire Red.
He's Super Nerd Crimbo.
I keep forgetting you have pizza.
Yeah, sorry.
You just set a pizza down next to the microphone. Can you guys hear it?
No, it's pizza. Like, don't make fun of me. I barely ate anything today.
It's
can't
okay.
help it.
It's okay. On the way home from work, I was eating potatoes and Cheetos in the car. So I mean, I'm way trash here today. Okay. So you don't find Clefairy outside of Mt.Moon, right? I know you find Jigglypuff there, but it might just be blue version.
I think it's just blue.
Okay. So, I think you can find Geodude out there, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't 100%
Well, we want to
remember.
rummage around in the grass anyway, so maybe
Yeah,
put
well, we're going to sit out there.
maybe
anyways,
put some experience into Feels Bug while we're there. I love first gen Metapod and Kakuna being able to move parts of their body. Having arms or being able to wiggle that tail or swivel your neck, like, because they're so boring otherwise.
I don't even know if it's really a swiveled neck or anything. I kind of feel like maybe that's just the shape that the cocoon has taken.
Maybe? Like, this one just happened to be at an angle when he did it?
Yeah.
When he spun
Yeah.
himself into there?
Yeah.
Which isn't really how it works, because it's Pokemon, but kinda.
That's how it worked in the anime. Do you remember that?
Yeah! He, like, just spewed string into the air and then evolved.
Yeah, because he literally just shoots out string until he covers himself and then turns white and becomes a Metapod or something. And then when Metapod evolves, Ash thinks that something has murdered his Metapod because it's a pincer snaps it in half. And it falls down as two pieces. And Ash is like, Metapod! And then Butterfree is sitting there, and Ash is like, what's that? And they're like, your Metapod evolved. And he's like, oh, okay. Cool.
I think, like, when I was a kid, I didn't really like bugs. I still don't like certain bugs, but some are cute. I can't stand cockroaches, because I lived in an area with very large ones, and they were awful. But, I think, as a kid, part of what warmed me up to the idea that bugs can be cute was Pokemon. And if nothing else, just the fact that Ash was always so enthusiastic about bugs, just kind of, I don't know.
Eek, did you touch me?
Huh?
She said,
Oh.
eek, did you touch me?
Well, you shouldn't touch her. Puff. But, like, just the idea that Ash thought bugs were cool and, like, Butterfree was cute. I was like, oh, maybe some bugs aren't so bad. And then, like, they contrasted it with Misty being absolutely fucking shrill about the whole Caterpie situation. I was like, I don't want to be like that. Bugs are cool now. I was one of the kids who just found Misty really annoying. But I think I was just jealous that she got to hang out with Ash so much.
Man, Disable.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's a move.
Yeah, Gen 1 Disable also disables things at random, as opposed to later generations where it'll disable the last move you used. Also,
And now you're asleep.
sleeping in Gen 1 is terrible because you take a full turn to wake up.
Yeah. Can you switch?
I think I can, but it has to be in there. It's okay, because it seems like all this thing has is Sing and Disable.
I think that's what it starts with, yes. I mean, it's level 14, so you'd think there'd be a little more going on. But yeah. I think that's about right for Jigglypuff. I remember I would always try to catch one, and I would name it after whatever the first singer I could think of was. So, Britney.
Okay.
And then I'd try.
Ah, there it is. Pound.
And then I'd try to use it because it'd be like, oh, this is a cute Pokemon. It's in Smash Brothers. It's a prominent part of certain parts of the anime.
It's got goofy eyes in this game for some weird reason.
And I thought, oh man, this one's probably good. Like how Pikachu's actually a pretty good Pokemon when you play. And it's like, no, I can't get Jigglypuff to work. I mean, later on, they kind of make Wigglytuff a little better, especially when fairy type stuff comes around. But like,
is Wigglytuff even a fairy type?
I'm pretty sure it is. I know I have Pokemon cards that are Wigglytuff that are fairy type that are boss ass fucking cards. I mean, as far as any, any Pokemon card can be good outside of all of the absurd EX stuff they've been doing.
Look at its eyes, by the way.
Yeah, one of them's not even shaded.
Yeah, right? Like, one of them's unshaded, but they're also going in different directions, and one of them's, like, over
Smaller
its
than
hair.
the other, yeah.
Significantly smaller, and it's not foreshortening, it's a tiny eyeball.
Yeah, it's not shaded. It doesn't have the little pink bits.
It's like a really bad attempt at Kirby.
That, too. I mean...
Like, just in general, I guess.
Yeah, they kind of... It's just
Jigglypuff
frequently
is.
Treated like it's more or less Kirby.
Yeah, it's normal fairy, and it's still not very good.
Yeah, it helped it a little, I guess. But, yeah, you just can't really make it work.
Not as much as you want, anyway.
Yeah. I like the idea of a bunch of the blobbity pink Pokemon like that. I like the idea of Wigglytuff. I like the idea of Skitty. I like the idea of, like, all of those. It's like, I can't make them work in battle. I love them aesthetically, but if you want me to fight, okay, well, here's my Swampert, and here's my Torterra, and all these other giant monster creatures. It's like,
well,
those
it's
are
like
the ones
their
you
whole
want to
claim
use.
to fame, early generations and everything, was, Jigglypuff is the singing Pokemon. And it's like, well... So many things learn sing now, and there's better options than sing to put things to sleep, to be
Primarina
honest.
can even use like a bunch of voice-based attacks and make them water type when they're not normally, right? Well, that's one of its
channel from
abilities.
Cerulean takes a lot out of you.
Like your soul, and one of your two fossils when you lose to the guy who's about to walk into the moon.
Yeah, a little bit. And to the moon.
Are we gonna buy a Magikarp?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Hell
buy a
yeah.
Magikarp. Of course.
I never did as a kid, because I thought, oh, well, this is just like in the anime where you get tricked. And I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to, because I know you can get them for free later. And then, now thinking about it, it's like, I could have started leveling it up before I even hit Cerulean. Because it takes it till level 20 to be useful.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is he not the right one? My bad. Hello there, have I got a deal just
Thanks
for you?
Thanks for not doing the 4Kids Mexican accent for
I'll
him.
let you have a swell Magikarp for just $500 dues.
The king of
What
carp.
do you say? Hundera got a Magikarp.
You can buy this Magikarp, and this Magikarp will lay 1,000 eggs, and you can sell each of those 1,000 eggs for $1,000. And it's a pyramid scheme based on this fish. You gonna do it? I'm not selling this to all those other people who are smart. I'm selling it to you because I know you need it.
We need names, by the way. Keep in mind that it does turn into a Gyarados.
And I feel like naming it Gary would be too easy.
Probably.
Let's see. I mean, we're going to have to wait a little while. Oh, they can smell your pizza.
Yeah.
Filet-o carp. Filet is an okay name.
Potentially.
Something Dexter? Who?
Gary 2.
Big Fish. I mean, I know you got better names than that, dude. Half of our team has been named by Busters. Don't tell me Big Fish.
Wartrout and sashimi.
Trying to remember what some that I've named in the past have been, and I can't think of any. I'm drawing a blank. I know I frequently will make sure to train them up. Koi Koi. Someone give us something funny. Let me think.
Fruit punch.
I like it. I don't know why, but I'm cool with it.
What do you think is your favorite name out of all the ones that we had?
Fruit punch, honestly. Because
Sure?
it's a little different. Well,
Okay.
you pick what you want. It's your birthday stream.
Yeah.
Josh is taking a swig of the water we unboxed. He's a really good ventriloquist. He can drink the water while I still talk.
You don't need to tell people I'm drinking water. That's...
Well, I don't know. It's a stream and they can tell that you stopped doing things. Mid writing a name.
Well, excuse me. Fruit punch fits.
Yeah.
Oh, hates lakes. That's a pretty good one,
Oh my god,
too.
that one's good. Next time.
I fucked up.
Next fish. You didn't fuck up. Fruit punch is still a good name. Now, hates lakes can be our... I don't know.
She tripped on a
Polygraph.
Geodude.
Maybe that's why I thought you could find them out here.
Oh, because somebody tells you?
Yeah.
Well, this game loves to lie to children, so you shouldn't
Oh,
believe
yeah,
it.
no, this game was an important part of our childhoods in learning how to discern the lies from truth. Not just in-game, but out of game, where our parents would tell us it was about gambling and cruelty to animals and summoning Satan, and the kids in the playground would tell us Yoshi was in here.
Yeah. I used to know, I knew a guy in elementary school whose parents became hyper-religious to the point where he decided that he hated Pokemon only because his parents became hyper-religious.
Yeah.
It was
that
literally like, he apparently prior to had like a PS1 and a bunch of games, and he gave all of them away for like a Clefable card, and then his parents became hyper-religious and told him Pokemon was gay, and he went, oh no!
Wait,
And
they
he-
literally told him it was gay?
Well, there's a lot of problems, but yeah, I think that might have been one of them. I don't know.
Okay, that's
they
weird.
thought it was Satan. They thought it was
They
demons.
thought there was a
summoning.
homosexual agenda in Pokemon?
I think so, yeah. It's weird.
Okay. I don't know where.
I don't know either. But
Well, maybe in
yeah,
the anime.
he wound up like joining one of those sects of weird like religions where they give away all of their earthly possessions if they're not up to snuff for
That kind of shit
Jesus or
ruins
whatever.
children.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
super
even
bad.
when it's not even... Like, okay, so this is only vaguely related. When I was a kid, someone gave... I think my brother a copy of the first Harry Potter book, because it was around the time there was only one book.
Okay.
And he didn't care enough to read it. And then I
Yeah.
think my sister, who was barely really reading at the time, decided that she was interested in it because she had heard that it was a popular thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister is dumb as a brick. Like, she's an adult now. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but
Could
she
she
was...
read the book? Like,
She was young enough then that it was kind of questionable.
Okay.
It would have been something where she would have needed help, but that's a great learning opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister is not really into learning opportunities, or maybe she's changed since the last time I talked to her 8 years ago. I don't know.
I don't know.
She's an adult. But,
Fair enough.
back then it was like, oh, well, this
Oh,
would have been
wow.
great for teaching a kid to... Oof.
Look at the palette of this cave real
Oh my
quick.
god, I forgot that it was made out of garbage, like literal garbage.
I've never seen the colored version of this. Because this isn't normally what it looks like.
You know
Normally
what?
it's like
Yeah,
grayscale.
yeah. I played this on
And
the Game Boy
greens.
Pocket.
But yeah, look at this
Damn.
place. It looks like trash.
Yeah. But, okay. Hi, Zubat.
What's
You were
up,
bound to
Zubat?
show up sometime. Why's it got a white ring around its neck like Knuckles?
Because it's flying knuckles.
I like that canon. I'm sticking with it. Anyways, my brother decided, and I don't think he believed this.
Makes him
I
chuckle.
don't think he really believed that Harry Potter was about demons and you'd go to hell for reading it. Mt.Moon. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
But I don't
Mt.Moon.
think... I think that my brother told my sister when she was barely at the age of getting into the idea of reading, I think he just told her that all of the fucking religious shit about, like, how Harry Potter's evil, just to scare a little kid, because, you know, that's what you do to your siblings. Because fuck them. But honestly, like... No one in that house ever read that book. I didn't because fuck Harry Potter. I don't give a shit. But it was just this little kid who was barely starting to get the idea that reading might be interesting and then just stopped. I don't think that's the only reason. I think maybe she just had some general issues with it or something. She wasn't like bad at reading what she learned. It's just she just wasn't interested in anything that was vaguely school related.
Yeah.
But like maybe things would have gone different. I'm just assuming that this kid you knew when you were young who was turned away from certain media because of the potential religious stuff may these days be a terrible human being because his parents stopped him from playing Pokemon.
Potentially.
I'm just gonna assume that's true.
Forms colonies in perpetually dark places. Uses ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets.
To this day, I've never read Harry Potter, and I refuse to, not because it summons demons, but because I already picked up enough about it from... Oh, I like that we're just going with this.
Somebody already suggested Knuckles, so
Yeah.
we're going with it.
I like that we're naming him Knuckles, and he not only has no hands, but also no feet. So he can't feel anything.
He's literally devoid of all form of knuckle.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my friends to find me here in this dark cave that nobody should be walking into because it's full of bats and horrible, horrible mushroom bugs.
We haven't seen one of them yet.
No, but they're around.
Yeah.
I swear to God, they're here.
And Clefairies, they're in here somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying that she has one and we don't.
Yeah, we'll find one, I hope.
I hope.
Anyways, I've picked up so many little tidbits that may or may not be true about what happens in Harry Potter from other people arguing about it on Gaia Online that I never have to read them. I will never have to read a Harry Potter book in my life.
Paint is right. He has no knuckles and no chocolate.
Well, he has a mouth.
Clefairy is chubbier than current Pikachu. This is true.
Yeah, and Clefairy kind of stayed that way.
Yeah.
Clefairy's feet stopped being that cute, though. Eventually it got nubs instead.
Did it? I can't even remember.
Yeah, modern Clefairy's just kind of got little nubs.
Oh. I didn't remember that. Maybe it's just me.
Clefairy was one of the original candidates for mascot for Pokemon, too.
Yeah, there's the alternative Pokemon manga, the one that's like...
I don't know what it's called.
Really old, and
it's weird looking.
The main character has a Clefairy, and it's just really bizarre. And
it was like...
I don't know why anybody reads that,
It was like a boy-oriented gag manga of the type, like, kind of like old Dragon Ball, where it's like, sometimes you'd see a small child's dick,
crap.
Right?
Yeah.
One of those ones where they'd have gags where it's like
though.
They were naked because
just in general,
you know, it was cultural.
As an artist, I just want to say I hate the art in that comic. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting it exists. I don't know if it ever got localized.
It was a more comic relief character, and there were things like Mew 3 and other shenanigans.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's weird, too, because it's not... I mean, it's technically an official comic on top of that.
Yeah.
It's not the official comic, but it's an official comic.
Do you ever think that maybe we should just drop our pretensions of being regular people and just become the world's greatest experts on weird Pokemon shit, and we need to import all of these things?
I mean, maybe.
I
don't think
that
has any money attached to it, though.
I don't. I mean, if it does, someone else is already making it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I own a bunch of Pokemon Special that I actually imported back before I needed money for real adult things.
Yeah.
When I was still living at home. Like, I got, like, the full set up to the end of the Ruby and Sapphire arcs off of eBay, and they were in English, but they were translated by a different company and released only in Singapore.
Yeah, it was a Singapore company released them because I think it was...
Viz had the rights in America, but they weren't taking advantage of them.
Yeah, it's like they owned the rights, but they refused to translate it, and there may have been more to it. Like, they may have owned the rights, but... And then ... And I think it was like they owned the rights, but some company owned some other rights in the U.S. that challenged that, or some crazy shit like that.
I used to be way into, like, importing shit and getting all of the Pokemon Apocrypha and all the extra lore and all the other canons and shit. Pokemon for a while was more or less... I mean, I'm still kind of just sort of a Pokemon person. I do pop because it's expanded, though. But, like,
obviously.
Like, there was a point in time where just that was kind of my scholarly pursuit. And sometimes I wonder if I should have stuck to it. Because now I also make a webcomic. So, you know, I gotta split my attention.
There's any money to be had in being a literal Pokemon professor.
Or in my webcomic.
No. I meant in the Pokemon related thing.
I don't know. I would have been paid in attention. Possibly.
Maybe. Who knows?
And we live in this modern Patreon era of attention can become money if you try hard enough. I mean, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that just sort of wishes that I could have just sort of become the ultimate super nerd instead of becoming just a nerd on the side.
Paint added, my friend had some imported Pokemon papercraft book growing up and I was so jealous. I swear to God, I probably know what you're talking about. I have seen there was around the time there was a weird papercraft like / origami set of books that came out in the US, but I think I had a friend who imported one also, and it came with like a DVD or a CD-ROM or something that had to teach you how to use them. And I was really jealous because I wouldn't have been able to run it either because I didn't have a computer at the time.
Like you didn't have your own computer, or your house
my family didn't have a computer at all.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that my mom was a nerd.
Yeah.
We had a computer from fairly early on. We had the internet from fairly early on. I wasn't the one allowed to use it, like when I was really young, because my mom was a nerd enough to know what the internet contained and not to let me on it without supervision.
Yeah. We didn't have a computer in my household that was readily available until I got my own computer. Just about. I think my dad had a computer.
That would have been what, middle school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Oh no. Sorry. Paint said the book he's thinking of came with punch out parts, so there was no printing required. The CD-ROM wasn't printable stuff. It came with punch out pieces also. The CD-ROM was literally just instructions for how to make them work. They just didn't print instructions and put them in the book for some strange reason.
That's obtuse.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Anyways, I am so glad that I had a mom who was into computers and sci-fi and shit, so she kind of understood how things worked to a certain extent. She couldn't figure out that the off switch on the PS2 was on the back, and that the thing on the front was just the reset button.
Yeah.
But, I
mean, in her defense,
fair...
that's a fair assumption, and it's really weird.
Yeah, that's not
that
how
they built
it worked
it that way
in her
to begin
days.
with.
But, if you have a mom who's ever mentioned having a Commodore 64 in college, go call her up and tell her you love her. Because nerd moms are the best.
Oh, God.
Because they know what's up, and they'll, lead you down the path. As opposed to, Josh's parents, who didn't have a computer and for a while thought that the internet was a fad that would go away so that they didn't want him using it.
Yeah, well...
They've switched around. They've caught up to the rest of the society.
Yeah. Shadika said, my brother has a few imported VHS sets that teach you how to play the Pokemon TCG.
Imported? What language?
I hope they're probably Japanese. I'm hoping they're not the English ones, which are garbage and are basically made in Flash.
Oh,
Those things are amazing.
I haven't seen those.
Those were terrible. There were also, they weren't VHSs, obviously, because these were just available online. There was also an online set of things that were supposed to teach you how to do certain, normal, typical skills, social skills.
Oh, I think I've seen those. Were 4th gen era,
I think so, and they were made in horrible Flash also. And
it was about Brock learning to talk to girls.
I think I have that one specifically saved somewhere as a Flash file. It's literally just, my name's Brock. I don't know how to talk to people. Can someone help me make friends? And
which is weird because, first of all, Brock's a sweetheart and people love him. Second, he is not shy about talking to ladies. He's just, if anything, overzealous about it.
We're going to catch this horrible, horrible cordyceps monster, by the way.
Man, its eyes are way buggier than I remember.
Yeah. Oh, okay, unless it dies. This is basically, I'd like to point out, possibly the worst Pokemon in the game. Not in specifically Red version, in the whole of Pokemon.
Yeah, if you look at its base stats and its type matchup and its moveset, apparently it's the worst.
On top of that, its ability makes it even worse, because it has dry skin. So it already has ×4 weakness to fire, because it's bug and grass. Mm-hmm. Dry skin gives it double damage against fire-type attacks. It has a ×8 weakness to fire.
That's rough, buddy.
It's incredibly rough.
Yeah. They're kind of cute, though.
They're super cute, but they're
Well, I
terrible.
mean, they're slightly closer to the realistic scale of bugs as some of the cuter ones. It's like it's more realistic than Caterpie, so it's less cute than Caterpie.
It's the same size as Caterpie, but it weighs twice as much.
It's because
1
it's
foot, but
densely
12
packed with
pounds.
mushrooms.
That is, a 1 foot cicada is gigantic. A 12-pound cicada is horrifying.
A 12-pound cicada that's half mushroom.
Yeah, no. Paris shows up, James. Paris shows up in Mt.Moon.
Did you just use someone's real name?
No, it's on there.
Oh, okay.
Dark Wizard James Mason.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Oh, you thought the
Hey.
stream was going to be later. Oh, no, it's 1 p.m. So,
Pacific.
yeah, and
well,
then
we'll
4
be
p.m.
doing this a
Eastern,
while. And
so,
also
yeah.
the YouTube will be up later.
Yeah.
I thought
We'll
you
probably
just
next
using
week,
someone
but
else's
yeah,
name.
no.
I could dead name some people in here
stop
for
it.
one. We're not gonna.
Yeah, James, they meant the stream. Burrows to suck tree roots. The mushrooms on its back grow by drawing nutrients from the bug host. So yeah, it's dead.
Cordyceps.
It's a cordyceps mushroom monster.
Yeah.
And yes, we want a nickname. Who wants to suggest a nickname for a Paris? I gotta wait for the stuff to roll through, so it takes 20 seconds for them to hear us say anything.
That's fine. That's not very long. I'm gonna lean back for a second.
Yeah, me too.
Stretch my back.
My back's kind of being destroyed by this.
How long have we been at it?
A while.
An hour? 2 hours?
Let's see. We started at about 1, and it's about 4.
Wow. We're
Yeah.
doing pretty good for it being that long, and we're only now
I
stretching
mean, we
our
started.
backs.
It was a little bit after 1. There was a little
Still.
bit of time there.
Mario, Midnight, these are good names. The name will be bad when it evolves.
Midnight? Maybe. Yeah, when it evolves, it turns into Parasect, which is just a mushroom that's got bug parts left over.
I mean Mario, because it'll get stepped on.
Yeah, you know what? I think Mario's a good name. Because when it evolves, it's just going to be a big mushroom. That's a good one, actually. I'm going to
In
go with
Silver, I named my Mareep Mario. It's a good name for a random Pokemon.
that. Yeah, don't you have a Mareep named Lemonade that I gave you? At
Yes.
some point? Yeah.
The shiny Mareep. His name is Lemonade.
Yeah.
And I still think I'm not going to ever evolve him because he's too cute as he is.
Yeah.
That was like was that a birthday present or a Valentine's present? It was a present one year. He got me a shiny Mareep. And I love it.
Yeah, I worked real hard on it.
Yeah. Well, you did the like you can
I
gain
worked
the
real
RNG.
hard on it.
Yeah, so it actually
gain the
is
the RNG
a
bit,
thing you
but-
have to actively work on.
Yeah. It was literal work.
And it was sweet.
Oh, that's not what I want. I wanted potions.
Oh shit, you
them
don't get
on.
Mareeps and Crystal?
Do you not?
Oh, that sucks. I didn't have Crystal. My sister had Crystal.
That's weird, because Mareep is like you can get Mareep out of a patch of grass in Gold and Silver, outside of Faulkner's gym, and that's supposed to be the one that they hand you, because it's a flying gym, and an electric type is super good against the flying gym.
Yeah,
There's a single patch of grass that you can get Mareep out of. And it's just outside of town. And they do that. Silver and Gold has this thing where it's every single gym, you have some way of getting a
Which is
Pokemon that is
nice.
significantly better prior to. Like, you can get fighting types before you have to go and fight, what's-her-face, the normal type gym leader.
Whitney.
You can get
Whitney's
electrics
real
before
rough, too,
Faulkner.
if
You
you
can
don't
get
know what
all
you're
that
doing.
stuff. If they took it out of Crystal, I have no idea what the fuck they would have replaced it with. That's so bad.
Yeah, there's a point before Faulkner's gym where you can trade for an Onyx.
Yeah, that's
you trade like a
true.
Bellsprout.
I think
or something.
Bellsprout and Mareep are found in the same patch of grass too.
But like the Onyx won't listen to you without any badges.
Oh
man, I forgot about.
It's the right.
I forgot about Deep Dark Oddish.
Yeah, the darkest Oddish, who has some kind of weird green outline.
I forgot about Cave Etching Oddish.
Dipped in paint Oddish.
1920s Oddish.
Yeah, rubber hose Oddish.
You can't get those in. Oh no, you can get Bellsprout in blue and Oddish in red. Where do you get Oddish?
You get Oddish above Cerulean.
Is he in this version?
I think so. I think that is the split. I think it's Bellsprout and Oddish are split. I think it's Oddish in this game and Bellsprout in the other. But I can't be sure. I'm not 100%.
The pitch black body thing kind of carries through the evolutions, I believe.
Yes, it does.
So I'm gonna just start thinking of like old timey animation names to give it. I'm thinking Bosco or Felix. Or Kimbo, but that's not really an actual historical. That's from a webcomic.
Somebody suggested that if we catch one, we name it Mr. Popo.
Maybe.
I'm not completely opposed to that, but I mean, Mr. Popo.
It's on the nose.
It's a bit on the nose there.
Maybe a little.
There's a lot of things about Mr. Popo.
Bosco and Honey is also in that category.
I know it is. I'm aware.
I guess I could take it out of that theme and name it like Yakko or Wacko or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just now I'm thinking of them as being like old Inkblot style.
Trash King.
Trash King. Oh, he's got only a few levels left before evolution,
learn Poison Sting. That's one of the moves I was hoping he'd learn.
Yeah. Okay.
Bellsprout next.
Remind me what Bellsprout looks like, game.
He looks like a plant, and he's got a body.
Look at that face. He has the face of a really apologetic Borzoi.
A little bit. Bellsprout looks. It's a little. I don't want to say he's very unfortunate.
He's Edward Munch's The Scream, but not quite.
Why did I switch to a water type? That was a terrible idea.
Why did you?
Oh my god, I'm dumb as hell. Switch back to Trash King then.
Yeah, I mean, Bellsprout is poison type, so it's not really a super good matchup, but he's gonna do better than Crimbo will.
Well, he's poison type, but I'm not even gonna bother using poison attacks to hit him. Horn attack does pretty good damage. Like, just saying. And it's like the first attack that wasn't tackle that Trash King
I'm kind of hyped for Trash King evolving, so let's get him some experience.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna gain a ton of experience, man.
Yeah.
Crimbo.
I just assume that everything evolves at level 16 at this phase of the game.
I don't think that's true.
No, I mean, I know that bugs, it's like 7 and then 10, but I think most of the starters, it's like 16 or 18.
Might be. I'm not even 100% sure.
Pretty sure it's 16 for a lot of things. It's like there's certain places where they put evolutions, and it's always like 16 or 30 or 50 if you're talking about like a pseudo-legendary.
Yeah.
It's not always how it goes, but it's what my brain decides.
Also, if you get a Bellsprout, name it Nazapipo. This is a question for the whole stream. When you were younger and you played Pokemon, did you only use the starter?
What, like with no team?
Yeah, some people do that. I don't like that idea.
I refuse to take my starter out of the party and put it in the box.
I never did that. I played with Bulbasaur, and my starting team was basically just Bulbasaur and a handful of Pokemon that I caught early on. But even though most of them were like nothing, it still was like I didn't go in with just one Pokemon. That's kind of a crazy move. I think, and I am not joking when I say this, I am dead serious. This is unironic. Far enough into Red version, and people are going to laugh, but let me explain. Far enough into Red version, my team consisted of a Venusaur, and like a Mewtwo, and I think a Butterfree or something. Like just generic staples from that time period. And a level 200 Rapidash.
Right.
That's not a joke. It's because there was a glitch in first gen, in Red and Blue, that came alongside Missing No, where Missing No could sometimes have random Pokemon show up like in that general area, just the Cinnabar glitch in general, could have Pokemon show up over there that weren't missing no explicitly and weren't, you know, like just glitched out Pokemon explicitly. You could just find normal Pokemon sometimes over there that would be at ungodly levels. That Rapidash probably started out at like 120, 118.
And it just kept going up?
If you give it rare candies, it'll go all the way up to 255. And then when you give it one more, it rolls all the way back down.
Oh, okay. But did you know that, so you didn't do it?
I got it up to 200 because that's a good, even number. And it's a good number that scares the crap out of people when they see it happen.
Okay.
Because they go, but my Pokemon stopped leveling at 100. And I go, yeah, and this is 200. And they're like, oh no. The stats do not continue to gain.
Okay,
It's
fair
basically just a level 100 Rapidash.
Fair enough. One of the things that I had long ago had ideas to make a Pokemon comic for, yes, again, an idea that young Megan had, like, I'm going to make a comic about this part of lore. I came up with, like, an entire OC that was just supposed to be basically a missing no hunter. Yeah. It was basically the equivalent of being someone who goes out with some devices to go and try to detect ghosts, but she's looking for missing no. And her entire team was supposed to be, like, weird meta choices, and she had a Rapidash. And I want to say she had 2 Porygons because they're, you know, computer based.
Did they get duplicated? I forget.
Because I
know
story?
what. Yeah, I know what comic you're talking about.
No, I think she just had 2 of them. But the idea was that eventually she'd find like a glitched out city, and then eventually end up like there'd be like Pika Men and invisible shinies running around. But I think that I had given her a Rapidash specifically because I had known that there was some sort of glitch involving them. Is it always
Maybe.
Rapidash?
It's not always Rapidash.
Okay.
Somebody even pointed out in the chat, they had a level 132 Snorlax.
Okay, cool.
We, Team Rocket, are Pokemon gangsters.
Is this our first interaction with the team?
This is our first interaction with Team Rocket, yes.
Look at that grunt in his 3-fingered hands.
And his, the hand on the
they
right
had to
is really
stop
bad.
doing whips after the first game.
Yep.
Because it was a little too real.
His messed up hand and his whip.
It lended to the idea that it was a game about cockfighting and cruelty to animals. Was the whips. It's like, and it's honestly, it's a bit far. It's a bit far. They weren't really necessary. It makes him look like a bad guy, but the cool trainers had him too. So it's like, are we supposed to just, like, be okay with the whipping? So they kind of took him out.
Shatika said, I had a Mewtwo that was level 164, I think, and then it somehow got enough experience to level normally when it was fighting Giovanni and dropped back down to 100. That's what they did. They would get up to 255, and then they would roll over after that, but if you got any experience at all, I think it was very, very little was required.
Okay.
They would roll back to 100. And it was like really weird and confusing. That's why you could only ever use the high super glitched Pokemon levels in trainer battles against your friends.
Yeah,
because
fair
then
enough.
you don't gain experience.
And you can just impress them with it.
Yeah, and it just looks spooky to your friends.
I was also super impressed that the first time I saw someone with more than one starter.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, like, just trade and then reset your game. But, like, the first time I saw it, I was super impressed. It was just some other kid on the playground. So I was just like, how did you have a Bulbasaur and a Charmander? I was like, I traded.
Oh my god. I think my final team had a, I want to say a Charizard as well as my Venusaur also, and a Hitmonchan, which is weird because I don't remember... Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was a Hitmonlee. But I don't really remember liking Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan very much, and it's like this weird Pokemon that it's on my team as a kid.
They're kind of not even that good.
Yeah, and I kind of just, I remember him really vaguely because I tried to name him Ninja, and I named him Ninga, like with a G. And I found that, like, years later, I found that and was like, what happened to my brain? Like, why did I try to name him this? Why did I try so poorly to name him this?
I won't make any jokes of what Well, I won't say any lines and then replace a word with that. So
Gangly.
You'll just know what makes that awkward.
Also, I really liked what's it called? Kabutops.
Oh yeah, you were really into Kabutops.
Yeah, I was really
Still
into Kabutops growing up. I don't really like it so much anymore. I like the design still. I think it's still like probably my favorite of most of the
like you wouldn't use it
fossils.
in a fight.
I probably wouldn't. But I like it out of a lot of the fossils. It's probably one of, if not my favorite, out of all of them. But at the same time, it's like it's Kabutops.
Like if someone came up to Josh and offered him like a figurine of a Kabutops and then like $20 in the other hand, he might take the Kabutops.
Yeah, I don't ever want to have to draw Kabutops. That thing's
it's
pain to draw.
It's a bit complicated.
It's terrible.
It's got a weird head.
Rocket, I blew it.
You done
goofed.
goofed.
Got money. What? Kunamon. He's killing me. He's evolving.
With his poison.
His horrible, horrible poison.
It's a bee. Man, it looks weird when it's all in yellow like that. So now the segments of its body and the wings
what?
kind
Crimbo Williams is evolving.
Oh, Crimbo Williams. I
do it,
find
Crimbo.
it interesting that it turns into like completely darkened grayscale when it evolves through the Super Game Boy color filters.
It's a little weird, yeah. I don't know what was up with that.
It's interesting.
I had someone nickname a Rhydon for me Rhino because they thought that was a good name for some reason. My yellow died a sad death to Cinnabar. I was fighting one of those glitched Arboks, and it took and it was over level 100, so I decided to catch it, but apparently it was actually a missing no, which I only found out later. The figure would probably be worth more than $20.
Well, that was the first thing I thought of, to put in the other hand. I mean, if you gave Josh the choice between like a Kabutops figurine and life-saving medication, he probably wouldn't pick it.
No, I wouldn't want to die. Is that what you're
like
suggesting?
he doesn't like Kabutops that much.
Yeah,
but like he'd take a Kabutops over many things.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Because of the way that first gen works, if you skip over levels where you learn moves, you don't learn those moves. Our Beedrill doesn't know Harden.
That's fine. You don't need it.
We don't really need it, but it was weird because he was a Kakuna that didn't know Harden for that entire time.
Well, good. We had a Kakuna that could do things with its arms.
Yeah, building a team in yellow is a little bit rough. Unless you want to just use all of the starters, because you can just do that.
Yeah, in yellow they just give them to you. Like, Officer Jenny is just standing there and hands you a Squirtle.
Yeah, it's really weird, and I don't quite understand why they just keep handing them to you.
I kind of wish they continued the idea of making, like, a fourth game that kind of vaguely mirrors the anime, but only in certain ways. That would look amazing now, where it would be like, you have Pokemon Sun and Moon, where you play as Sun and or Moon. Fucking super nerd, I don't remember you looking like this, buddy.
I remember him looking like this.
Is this gangly?
Yeah, super nerds in this game look really bad. Like somebody pushed them over.
What's up with his legs? Like it's a capri pants
he's anemiated.
In the foot.
He hasn't eaten
and then
ever
the other
in his
foot
life.
I can't see, but for a second I thought he was wearing only one shoe.
He's been subsisting off of the ground
and
dust
moon rocks,
for his entire existence. And somebody pushed him over so that they could kick sand in his face and steal his robot girlfriend. Like, all he's got left is a Magnemite.
Yeah. I like that when it shows up, all it does is beep at you. Just like
a little, it's like, beep. What up?
But, what was I saying? Yeah, just like if they did like, oh, here's Sun and Moon. Now here's Pokemon Yellow Sun and Moon. And then, like, it's just, oh, now it's Ash. But, like, it's maybe not a complete mock-up of the anime. It's just sort of, like... Because I haven't even seen the Sun and Moon anime, so I don't know what to say about it.
By the way, somebody asked, isn't that how it works with Pokemon games, the move-skipping thing? No. Not after first gen.
Also, there's move tutors and move rememberers.
I want to say first gen did it. I think second gen may have. But I don't think it even did, honestly. You just learn them as a big thing after that. Just all of them all together over and over.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was under the impression that they learn Harden upon evolving, but I guess not.
They do, but they learn it at the level that they
Oh,
evolve.
you mean that
Yellow
you went
Voltorb.
2 levels up at once?
Yeah.
And I don't remember it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, Voltorb's
Yeah,
got
fine.
some shading.
Voltorb's
I don't,
yellow.
I don't remember it being shaded like
He
that.
doesn't look anything like a Pokeball now.
Yeah. Well, is the shading based at all on typing sometimes? You think maybe they defaulted him to yellow because he's electric?
Maybe.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how Super Game Boy
That would actually
works.
make some sense. Like if it literally just colored them based on looking at the first type in their thing and then
But then
determining what it
Pidgey and
should have been.
Jigglypuff aren't the same colors, so I don't know.
Is Pidgey's first type fly?
I think it is.
It might be flying and the Jigglypuff is normal.
Flying type is always secondary.
It would explain why Trash King is purple.
Well, he already is.
Yeah, well, like the actual Pokemon is purple, I know, but I don't know. Maybe it's just unique then. Maybe they
I
just
don't
thought
know.
that he needed to be yellow.
I don't know.
Maybe he looked really bad when he was all red or something. What
Maybe.
feels bug is evolving.
Good. Oh, right. He's still this.
Yeah.
I was hoping for Butterfree. I forgot he was just a nubbin.
No, we gotta get this feely bug.
He was a sub nub and now he's a regular nub. He won't evolve into a full creature until later.
He's gonna turn into a nub bug. Found a potion.
He's
God.
he's Feels Bug Boy, and when he emerges from his shell, he'll be Feels Bug Man. Do we have one of these yet?
No, but they're everywhere down here. We
You
may
waiting
as well
to
just
find a
avoid
good
them for a
one
little bit.
to
Yeah.
catch?
Yeah.
Not that you'd be able to tell. You're not going to run into a shiny.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Rare candy. I knew there was one down here.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where it was. That's the whole reason I haven't left this level of the cave
okay.
yet.
Yeah, I mean, I
couldn't remember where it was. I knew it was in here.
I literally never use rare candies, so I wouldn't have remembered. I just think of them as just something that I hoard.
No, I always super remember where they are, especially in games like this. I tend to hoard them, but if I decide that I really want to use them all at once, I will use them all at once.
What happens when a person eats one of those?
They turn into a gorilla.
They stop aging for another year.
Yeah. One rare candy is 1 year of life you're allowed to live scot-free.
That explains Ash.
Yeah, he's just chowing down on rare candies when no one's looking.
Never gives them to Pikachu.
Turns out his mom's hamburger pizza is just a pile of rare candies.
Somehow.
I don't know.
I think he's just immortal because he's descended
Hamburger
from beasts.
pizza's disgusting already. I don't know. I don't know how she does that in the Pokemon
We're pizza
world.
purists. It's gotta be pepperoni or like a margarita or just cheese.
Yeah, I'd like a margarita.
I mean, white pizza can be good where it's, like some feta and some spinach or something. But we're pretty much a pepperoni household. It's what we want on our tombstone.
I've been keeping my Pokemon evenly leveled, which is taking a long time.
I do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have sometimes refused to go past a certain town until everything in my box has been leveled to a certain level. I don't do that much anymore, but I've been there.
Yeah. Let's see. Since I don't have an experience share. Yeah, experience share is weird. They grow violently ill, and if you feed a common candy to a Pokemon, it loses a level because Pokemon Reborn is the worst. Tombstone Pizza.
Pokemon Reborn, is that a thing I should know?
I don't remember.
Is that one where you, fuse with Zekrom or something? That was a manga that happened, right?
Oh, God. That was something else. Pokemon Re something else. And yeah, the main character basically fuses with Zekrom
Did that
every
get
time
an
he does
English
things.
translation, an official one?
Don't know. It was basically Pokemon Sentai. It's literally the main character fuses with Zekrom and becomes like a half-man Pokemon, but then the villains do the same thing with a different kind of Pokemon.
Which is actually kind of rad, except that it wasn't really Pokemon in any recognizable way.
Well, no, the universe still acknowledged the idea that Pokemon are real things and that it was the Pokemon universe, but then they had this entire layer of different going on that confused
So it
the
was
hell
like
out of
Tokyo
people.
Mew Mew?
I don't know.
All of
'cause
the
I've never
girls
read
in Tokyo Mew Mew. I've only read like the first volume, but they're all like fused with the DNA of endangered animals. So the main girl is mixed with like this rare island cat.
Well, their genetics weren't mixed with it. They had it was like not a megastone, but it was very close.
Okay.
It was like a little diamond. It looked like the Z crystals for Z attacks.
Okay.
Which is why people thought that Sun and Moon was going to have that in it.
So it's that weird filler arc in Sailor Moon where there's rainbow crystals that are inside Mercury's boyfriend or whatever.
Well, yeah, except I think you got them out of boxes, and they were like hand-me-downs from ancient times or whatever. But then everybody had one.
I really loved that weird filler shit from
from
Sailor Moon, where it's like there was that one episode where she kind of bonds with a boy who turns out to have like psychic powers or something, and it turns out that underneath it all there was a monster living inside him because he was imbued with a moon crystal. I was like, oh, this tragic monster boy. And then he's never seen again because he's non-canon.
Yeah, because nobody cares. Like,
yeah, pretty much. We got anything good going on in the chat? Pokemon Reburst is the thing we're thinking of. Okay, that sounds familiar. If humans eat a candy, they gain a level and evolve.
I already read that. You shouldn't know it. It's a bad fan game with swears.
Pokemon
and blood.
Reborn?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
the first
bad
gym
fan
leader
games.
has a level 15 Electrode, and if you have a Pokemon you even caught in the wild that goes over level 15 before you beat them, they don't obey you. There's no ground types in the wild. The only ground type you can possibly have before the first gym with the Electrode in it is if you take a Mudkip and evolve it. Also, it has permanent electric terrain in the gym.
We should play this game.
That's only the first gym, and the difficulty scales up.
Oh yeah, Steak Justice is like the one guy in that one Discord who like recognizes what the hell I'm saying when I talk about uranium.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't seen our LP
we
of
play
it,
through the entirety of uranium.
Yeah, we do that. We decided at some point that Thea was a mutant, and it kind of colors our entire playthrough, but in a good way. I love Nuclear Theo.
Yeah, also Involuntary Twitch showed up to make comments like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, she still does, occasionally, well, not anymore because I'm not doing uraniums for Popkids, but would frequently like or reblog them. Especially the one that's literally her persona.
Yeah, I remember that.
The one at the end of the Pokedex. I made sure to try and do that one good. Because it's like, this is someone's Pokesona.
It's somebody's Pokesona. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, I tried to do good, and I think I did. But yeah, like she shows up sometimes. I think in general, like if you're doing stuff with uranium, there's a good chance she'll be looking for uranium stuff.
Theo is an evolved human.
You know what? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Theo's what happens when you eat too many rare candies.
His dad gave him like just a tin of rare candies one day, and he didn't explain to him that they're not for him. They're for animals, and he's just been eating them.
He's like, I want those dog treats.
He's just been sitting there in the corner eating dog steroids this whole time. That explains him. Thank you. It makes sense.
Theo, are you in there eating horse steroids? No, Dad. No, Dad. We're pulling a big job here. Get lost, loser.
Yeah, that's actually really gross.
What, pulling a big job?
Get lost, kid.
Yeah.
We came into something really inappropriate. He's got that whip, too.
Jesus. Uranium has Top Boy. Hey, Gradamit. He said, hey, you two.
I haven't seen him in a while.
If I decide to do a shareable in some way run of uranium, remind me to name my character Ruddy.
Rudy? Like Tabooty?
Rudy. We had a bird named Rudy Tabooty.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, if I can't think of a name, half the time I just choose
Rudy, which is
I just
weird.
come up with Chalk Zone references, and I don't even like that show that much.
No.
For some reason, just you ask me on the spot when I don't have anything better in my head.
Name it. You go, Rudy Tabooty.
This has happened before.
Why is that your go-to?
I don't know.
weird.
There's this one time back when Josh gave Minecraft any attention. You got one of those mods that puts animals in and you can name the animals. I think this was before there were that many animals in Minecraft.
No,
but
it was just a mod that had a bunch of
yeah,
birds and
like he grabbed some birds and rabbits and shit. I was like, oh, you should keep it, give it a name, and then he did. But then he got super mad at this bird named Rudy because it kept trying to run off and die when he was trying to put it in a pen. So he was just sitting here at the computer shouting at Rudy. It's like, fuck you, Rudy. I don't even want you. You're lucky that Megan likes you. He also got a rabbit named Bill and a rabbit named Ted and put them into a pen. And did they reproduce or did you just grab other rabbits and put them in?
I don't even remember.
I don't know. If you ask me for names, Rudy, Bill and Ted, and then all of the cast of Animorphs and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, Rudy and Theo stream Munchkin. We can't stream Munchkin without a camera. Like,
also,
how would we be able to stream
mail
Munchkin?
it to us.
Yeah. Chalk Zone had a great concept that was botched at every angle.
Oh my god,
and they decided to tie it all up with musical numbers for some reason. It's because every song at the end of Chalk Zone was a song made by the guy who made Chalk Zone.
Yeah, there's just
that's
one guy.
literally what it was. It was like one dude's entire series.
I don't think there was a single song in those that I actually thought was good. And I had low standards because I was a kid.
Also, Cat Dog was unpleasant.
Fuck off. Cat Dog's great.
They had the Baja Men in an episode.
There was Baja Men in Chalk Zone. I don't remember why.
Quick, summarize the entirety of Animorphs.
Oh, we did an LP where I did that.
Yeah. I think it took 16 episodes.
Baby's first body horror. Baby's first intensely bizarre and meticulous world-building sci-fi. Baby's first super fucking amazing female protagonist. Baby's first sad monster boy.
Baby's first Stargate.
And his uncle, the centaur.
Baby's first Stargate.
Kind of. I mean, they didn't do a whole lot of traveling. They mostly just sort of tried to do things in the town around them.
Yeah, but you got like the worms in their brains. And
At
all
one
sorts
time, they have to go in.
What? Trash King is evolving.
Oh shit! Yeah.
He's becoming a trash lord. Is that above a king?
No.
Damn.
I mean, yes and no. A lord is like a landowning noble, but a lord is also the Father and the Holy Ghost. So yes, king is in between lord and lord. It's lord with a lowercase and lord with an uppercase.
He was like, if you find a fossil, give it to me and then leave.
Yeah, he's pulling his big job. He needs some privacy, but also fossils.
I'm pulling a big job, so leave me alone. But if you find me a fossil, then give it to me. And then leave.
There's a book of Animorphs where for some reason they have to go into cockroach mode to try and infiltrate a place, end up at a celebrity banquet, and end up in the soup of the Hanson kids.
Umbop. A trash deity. Yeah, a little bit. Like a Nitto god?
Yeah, maybe.
Look at the back of War Turtle.
He's got his tail just up on his shoulder.
It's the first time I've actually looked at it, but yeah, no.
Where is his ear going?
It's coming off of his forehead. He's just got a unit ear. Like it's right out of the center. And the other one's in the back of his head.
Along like there's fins on his spine and stuff. Like they're going backwards like that. It's weird.
It's so weird looking.
I got some Animorphs going on. I relate to Rachel because I get angry a lot and would probably lose control of my transformation if I had transformation powers. Yeah, maybe. No, that's like saying, well, God is the shepherd of shepherds. No, they're above kings. I don't know. Something about Bogleach likes Animorphs. Everyone likes Animorphs.
Doesn't Bogleach hate you?
He hates anyone who's ever said a negative thing about Garbodor. I just ignore it because he interacted with me twice and then whatever.
Him yelling at you. That's all I remember.
I don't like Garbodor. I don't like Sigilif.
A ton of people showing up to yell at you.
It wasn't actually that many. It wasn't actually that many, but it's like, yeah, okay. Do you just stalk the tag for your favorite Pokemon and get mad when other people don't like it?
That's all I remember is that
like,
Bogleech is the guy who yelled at Megan, and I'm just like, oh, fuck off, Bogleech.
I mean, sometimes people don't like the Pokemon I like, but it's like I'll say fuck off and then I'll leave it alone, you know? Like, I don't have to try and explain what makes them good. Although everyone knows why Meowth is good. I don't need to explain my favorite Pokemon. But, like, I don't need people to be convinced that the thing I like is the thing they should like. I don't know. It's just like there's a point where I realized half his blog was just complaining that other people didn't like bugs. He occasionally had good insights about Pokemon.
I don't actually I don't dislike Bogleech. Some of his content is okay.
Although he gets carried away with himself.
Just given to him by other people, though. Like he
he does his own research.
He gives people a platform for scary stories. And
he does that as well.
Yeah.
He does his own research on things. He does a lot of weird biology and does art and stuff.
I meant more the stories because
but
that's
he also
most
freaks
of what
out
I know
when people
about him.
find bugs or snakes scary, and it's like some people just don't like bugs or snakes or whatever.
It's fair
spooky
enough.
animals.
Some
it's
people
like,
just
whatever.
don't. It's kind of a natural human reaction to not like those things.
Yeah, and it's like I don't care if you like Garbodor and I don't like it. Also, that one wasn't even one of the ones I hate that much. I remember that my Popka entry for it was, it reminds me of a bad day at work because it's a ripped open trash bag.
Yeah, you know
if you're trying to take out the trash and it rips, that fucking sucks. I don't want to be reminded of that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Sigilif, though, sucks. Also, Clink. I'm not going to let anyone tell me that the Clink line is good. Especially since I found out that there are gear-based gear-based Digimon that actually are good. So it's like, no, you could have done it like this, but you didn't, Pokemon.
Yeah. What is it?
Haguru?
Hagurumon?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
it's
that.
One of the ones I try to remember the name of so I can use it against people who like Clink.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to like both. It's just like, come on, don't tell me Clink is good.
I think Garbodor is fine. I legit love Sigalith. But that makes it really awkward. Meowth is good. What Pokemon? Ew, Meowth. Damn, it's like, no, Meowth are terrible.
Well, his favorite is Sewaddle, right? That's a good one. That's an actually good Pokemon. So, I mean, we can agree to disagree on Meowth.
James said my favorite is Zangoose, but I don't really care about people not liking them. I don't think I've ever met anybody who doesn't like a Zangoose.
I care when Pokemon doesn't have them. That's the struggle for a lot of
people.
Not for me, because Meowth is always going to be part of the anime.
Every game.
But like, there's always going to be the Pokemon that don't get plush and stuff.
How do you feel about a Lowland Meowth?
I still like regular Meowth better, but I'm not against it. It's cool.
Yeah. Sigalith
evolves into normal. It's kind of weird.
Sigalith reminds you of the Nazca lines on purpose.
Yeah, it is the Nazca lines.
It is the Nazca lines. It's a Nazca line Pokemon.
It's translated into a Pokemon design in a way that's kind of awkward.
She knows that because I know that, and we know you, Grad. We know what your favorite Pokemon is.
Yeah, didn't you once try to shake down Josh because he had Swadloons in his friend Safari?
Yeah.
I heard this story.
But yeah, that is a thing.
Alolan Meowth is, like, I like that there's basically now a Meowth variant, so you have more things you can base off of if I want to make more sparkly Meowth OCs. That's good.
And they're dark type, because it's a different type from normal Meowth,
it's
too.
interesting.
It's like, oh, it's so cool.
I still like regular Meowth better. Maybe it's just nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
willing to say it could be nostalgia. Steak Justice is saying he likes Sigilif because it's off-putting. I don't think it's that it's off-putting that makes it bad. It's just there's a certain thing, like a feel that Pokemon, when they're good, have. And I just
good Pokemon feel.
There's some Pokemon that don't have it. I don't know. Some of it is bias. Some of it is just there's a cohesive world, and every so often they throw something in that doesn't feel like it fits. I don't know. I don't like Clink for a similar reason, but I'm not really as bothered by Magnemite. Possibly because Magnemite also sometimes feels like it has emotions and stuff. Like it'll wiggle its magnets or make like an expression with its single eye.
And they evolve, and their evolutions look, they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
Magnezone is alright. Magneton's kind of just lazy.
Voltorb and Electrode have very expressive faces. Mm-hmm. That you can tell that they're angry when they're angry.
Yes, they.
So like,
and they're always angry.
You can kind of project a feeling onto them.
Yeah.
He agrees that Clink is lame. Yeah, Clink has a face, but it's like completely static. and then it's like two of the same face, and even give one like a smile and the other a frown or something.
Alolan Zangoose would have been amazing. You know, I agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Hawaii.
Alolan Pokemon that could have been really good, and they just didn't show up.
They imported mongoose to Hawaii to try and get rid of some snakes that were in Hawaii. It didn't work, but we have mongoose there.
How do you feel about Gorbis and Huntail? I like the
They're
concept of having one Pokemon that evolves two ways, and then having one version. It's basically the fossil, but it's for an evolution of a Pokemon instead, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that we have Pokemon that are like a Gulpreal and whatever Gorbis is. Is it an Orphish?
It's a
No.
Ribbineal.
Ribbineal? Okay.
It's
got a mermaid bra. I remember
Yeah,
that
it
being
does.
weird, but kind of quirky weird. Neither of them are really memorable to me. Like, they're there, they're cool, and then I'd forget they're there.
I didn't say Magneton was bad, by the way. I said that it was simple. I want to point that out. Don't get too angry at me for saying that.
Magneton's just kind of there.
It's
to
not
me.
a bad design, but it is just 3 Magnemite.
All of the cluster Pokemon, like Magnemite, Magneton, and Dugtrio, like
Dugtrio is the
something
other one.
about them bugs me, not because of a design standpoint, but just because they never use that gimmick well.
Wishy-Washy is another one too, but that one doesn't evolve. That's just, it's a singular
yeah.
Pokemon, and then its ability adds multiples to
Yeah,
it.
it just calls its buddies. They're
Yeah,
not
and that-
fused together forever.
Well, its ability doesn't activate until level 20. So if it's lower than that, it doesn't actually, it's like a faux evolution.
It's not powerful enough to convince others to follow it.
Yeah, not until it hits like level, I think it's level 20. It might actually be like 15.
Yeah, but it's not like they're permanently, foreverly fusitized
No.
to each other.
But they do form a cohesive Pokemon that can do things like jump out of the water and land on its own and fight and shit like that. It is weirdly connected.
I don't know. It just feels like the whole fusion thing could be used more interestingly than they ever do. They just kind of treat it like one thing, like one brain with 3 faces.
Little bit.
Do something more.
Slowpoke is another example, sort of.
Yeah, the Slowbro thing kind of attaching itself. Like, I can kind of accept that it's just down there being a parasite, though, because, like, it sits down there and probably just eats, like, leavings and stuff. But not from, I don't think it's eating the Slowbro's poop. I think it just gets
it's eating the Slowpoke's tail. Because
they're tasty.
And this has been addressed before. Slowpoke tails grow back. They totally grow back.
Yeah.
So what it's doing is it's digesting small pieces of it as time goes on, and then they just regrow.
Yeah.
So it's just
I would
parasiting
like there to be, like in the anime or whatever, just like a Slowbro
Losing
walking
stings.
around and then maybe consulting with its own tail for a second opinion on things. That would be cute. Just sort of
it would have to be a slow
around
king
and-
at that point,
Nah,
because slow
I mean-
bros are pretty dopey.
No, that's part of the point. Like,
Yeah, I
he's
know.
walking around doing whatever an animal does in the woods, and then
Pooping.
just comes across something it doesn't know how to handle, and just looks back and is like, "Hey, boss, what do you think of this thing?" And then the shelter on his back is like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm back here. Turn around so I can see it." I don't know. It would be funny and cute. We got anything going on then?
Somebody said, "What the fuck did you say about Magneton?" But they spelt Magneton wrong. I mean, if you really like the Pokemon,
I think
you
I
know how to
said that it
spell
was just sort of there. That's my opinion on many things, where it's like I'm neutral. It's like it exists. That's my opinion. Hey, is this our first hiker?
Yeah, this is our first hiker.
Is that beard? Did he just have a mighty beard?
Yeah, that's a mighty beard.
But it's just a chin beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
know.
He doesn't have a mustache or nothing. Maybe that's how they do in Japan. I don't know.
Maybe it was a '90s thing.
Could have been hikers with chin beards. I mean, maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah. What's other Pokemon that I hate? I know you don't like those sandcastles.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm just
okay.
kind of neutral to them.
That's like the only time I've ever seen a Pokemon design and actively become enraged by it. I don't like I forget what it's even called. The sandcastle Pokemon.
And
Yeah,
I don't know what the
Palisand
other one is.
and some other thing. The lumpy sand Pokemons, the ghost ones. I love the idea of ghosting ground, and the idea behind the Pokemon is great.
They're just designed.
But I can't
less than you
stand the
like.
design. It really irks me bad.
I kind of like some of the things they're going for with it. Sandygast.
Yeah,
okay,
Sandygast. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I like certain things, like it's got a face, and the evolved one kind of has arms, sort of. But they could have done more with it. They could have done more with it.
Yeah, they could have done way more with it, to be honest.
Like my personal opinions for what like a Pokemon design should convey is it should look like it could be your friend. Like it should have, if not like very expressive facial features where you can kind of tell what it's thinking, but at least something about it where it will like wiggle or whatever to respond to you if you're talking to it. Because you know, you're a 10-year-old kid running around the world with your anime dog. It better be able to show you if it's happy or sad. And it should be not a literal actual animal, but it should be kind of looking like it could be, or if not, then it's in a way that's creative and not just here's an inanimate object with a face. Like I don't know, like.
That being said, I really like the sword.
Yeah, I don't like the swords.
Yeah, I know you don't like the swords.
I don't like the there's been more just this is a possessed inanimate object ghosts. It's like after a while it just started looking lazy. At least Shuppet and Bayonet still kind of had like limbs and faces and things going on for them.
Somebody said, so does Slowking's Shelter fuse with its brain, or does it take it over?
Both.
I think they are, because they're in a parasitic relationship with one another.
They might have one brain.
Likely that they are both fused together. They don't technically take over either one. They're just one independent being. And something Shelter's venom with...
It's Philia. If we get to 2nd gen and get a Slowking, we're naming it Philia.
yeah, basically.
I try to always have a girl Slowking anyways to subvert that it's named Slowking.
Like a Miss Mime.
Yeah, I do that too. I like if it's got like a name that implies a gender, but I can have it be the other one. I'm gonna do it just to be contrary.
Yeah.
Honedge can express itself? Yeah, kind of can.
It does have an eye that it does move around in its defense.
It's like,
and it has arms that it can move around as well.
I don't like it on just a general design level, too. Just in like the way it looks. It's like, I would have done something different.
I mean, I like the design well enough. I don't really have any issues with Honedge or anything like that.
Well, I do.
Yeah, I know you do. Oh, wait, there's an item there. Ah, damn it.
All my favorites tend to be the ones that are mostly animal, honestly. So, like, I really like the design for Kangaskhan. I really like the design for Phanpy. I really like Breloom. Breloom is a cool dude.
Personally, I hate that mushroom Pokemon where the top of its head looks like a Pokeball.
I like it enough.
Oh, God. Okay. It exists. I can explain to you why it exists.
I hate that they named them like Fungus and Amoongus.
Yeah. Well, his other thing was makes no sense to me. Okay, it makes sense when you realize that Black and White was Game Freak's attempt at redoing Pokemon as a series. That's why you can't find
the Pokedex.
You can't find anything in those games in before post game that isn't 5th gen exclusively. There's no 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th gen Pokemon in that game until after you complete the game, because there's 150 Pokemon in it, and they wanted desperately to basically redo Pokemon and be like, this is your new red version. But at the same time, after that, they were like, okay, now here's all the rest. It was like they tried to do it, but it kind of didn't work, and people were kind of angry about it more than anything. And
I personally find it more plausible for a mushroom to have a pattern that resembles something that we would have as a man-made object.
Maybe.
Whether it imitated it as an evolutionary quirk, or that we made objects so that look like an existing plant thing.
Yeah.
More than I believe, here's this Pokeball that got, like, possessed by a spirit, or gained sentience after being exposed to moonbeams or whatever.
In its defense, you need to go back and read a lot of the Pokedex entries for Voltorb, because holy shit, there's way more going on there.
All right.
People don't realize how much is going on with Voltorb. If you go back and read some of the Pokedex entries, it's things like...
I'm realizing we should have had Fruit Punch get some levels here and there.
The first Pokedex entry is like, oh, nobody knows why. It looks like a Pokeball. It just appeared one day alongside the creation of Pokeballs. But then after that, there's a bunch of Pokedex entries where it's things like upon closer inspection, it has been discovered that Voltorb is a free-floating plasmic entity that hops from object to object.
It's just someone put a Cosmog in a Pokeball and it just decided this is me now.
It's probably more likely that it is a whatchamacallit, the thing that...
A Rotom.
Yeah, a Rotom. It's basically just, this is not quite Rotom.
Rotom is probably the only, this is an inanimate object with a ghost in it that I truly accept. I like Bayonet on like an aesthetic level, but Rotom, like, it takes it just far enough to be cool every time. And also now Rotoms just talk to people.
You'd think it would be ghost type, by the way. Somebody said you'd think it would be ghost type then, and it's like, yeah, it should be, but it's not. It's steel and electric. Because it's an electric steel type, so why not, I guess.
Yeah, I need my third energy drink of the day. I can't reach it.
Okay, let me do that. Careful,
This is number 3.
Okay. Little kids should leave grown-ups alone.
They should, so go away, old man. Unboxing that Mountain Dew.
Rocket wants to fight.
It's acceptable stream etiquette to sometimes have dead air, right?
It's more acceptable than when we do LPs.
Okay, I just keep wondering if I should not be like cracking open the cold one on.
No, it's fine. Look at this horrific Raticate.
You mean that awesome Raticate?
Yeah, this. You know what? It's both. It's horrific and it's awesome.
He's ejecting his teeth at you.
This might honestly be the best Raticate in the series. Now that I think about it.
It's normally, like, I like Alolan Raticate.
It's ruining Trash King, by the way. Holy shit.
Like, Raticate is,
you know what? Yeah,
Alolan
Raticate might actually be the best version.
Yeah, I like the good chub sweetheart rat.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty okay.
Yeah, but Raticate is just, it's way more boring than Rattata. Like, they're almost always pissed off.
A little bit. It's a really big rat as opposed to a really little rat. That's
but it's
really the only
also, like,
difference.
lost some of the cuteness of its limbs, and its whiskers are kind of taking up too much of its real estate in its face.
Maybe a little
because
bit.
they're, like, thick whiskers. And there's a lot of them.
They're thicksters?
And it goes from being a cute little purple anime thing to being just a regular brown thing, which is still fine, and those colors work good together, but, like, I mean, I don't know. I would have turned Rattata into an evolution that looked more like Rattata.
I'm steamed!
Gross.
Yeah, what
Old
feels
men
bug is
could
evolving.
leave kids alone.
They should.
Oh man.
Oh, feels bug. You probably will continue to be used quite a bit.
I like the way the blue shading looks on this one.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Like, sometimes these sprites go for being way more detailed, and then sometimes they look like a pile, like a literal pile. And it's weird.
Rarely,
it's inconsistent. Like, you can tell that either it's different spriters just sort of contributing to the workload, or it's just like Sugimori was having an off day and he was hungover or something. But, like, sometimes they come out really good. Like, I really like...
Team Rocket will find the fossils, revive, and sell them for cash.
I really like...
Very complex plan.
the sprite for Butterfree, the sprite for Sandshrew. There's a bunch of great ones. And then you get, like, one eye unshaded on Jigglypuff and stuff. See, look at that.
I would argue
boy.
Rattata. The sprite isn't very good on Rattata.
Oh, I love it. He's still doing that thing where his teeth are pointed out at you, like he's trying to reach over and scrape you with them. Like they're out of his skull in a way that's different.
Oh, damn it. I did have a bunch of potions. I thought I had no potions whatsoever. I would have saved fucking Trash King if I thought I had any.
Aw.
Oh, that's
well.
bad of me.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Microwave is still level 4.
I know. It's hard to keep everybody where they need to be. I can't help it. It's because we're doing a stream and I don't want it to take a million years for us just to get to Misty.
Yeah. I like the sprite for Rattata. I don't think I've ever seen a Rattata that I didn't like. because it is basically just a mouse, but it's got like these sweet little paws that you kind of want to pinch, and it looks like if you pick it up, it'll wiggle. And it's just cute. It's more of a dog than a rat, really. And this sprite is not one of the best, but it's good for what it is. Rattata's not like a super detailed Pokemon like ever, so if they had done like weird fur texture in the shading or whatever, it would have been probably just crowded.
Well, I feel like the Alolan Rattata isn't quite very good because I like it. It's not that good. I dislike it, but I feel like it's not as good as normal Rattata because it is a little more busy than it should
Alolan Rattata is less good than regular Rattata, but Alolan Raticate is far better than regular Raticate. Yes.
Do they give, is it Alolan Rattata that has it's got like a little mustache or something going on, right?
Something.
Yeah,
like it's got like really thick whiskers instead.
Yeah, like it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I feel like compared to normal Rattata, I feel like it's not as strong, like a design. But that might just be me. I don't know.
I really wish that they would push the whole forms thing further and give us cultivated domestic breeds. I would love, I would love like fancy rats. I like a little Rattata with like just big old Dumbo rat ears, or some with like little spots on them.
Human ear on the back.
Yes, actually, I love Vacanti mice. I love that. I have a fucking OC that's that. A cute little mouse girl who's wearing what looks vaguely like a hospital gown, and it's open in the back because she has a giant human ear growing out of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love lab experiment animals as just a concept that I could use for characters. Like, just in general, just I love glow in the dark jellyfish mice. I try to avoid doing the Pavlov dog and the Schrodinger's cat and anything else that feels a little more cruel than necessary. Although all the experimentation has questionable ethics to it for animals. But like I like the ones that are weird and quirky. Just to have like a persona that's like, oh, what's a good one? That's not a mouse, because I already named off a couple mice.
One of them monkeys with the jellyfish DNA.
Yeah, I already said that for one of them. Like they did that for like cats and dogs.
Yeah,
they
did that for a lot of
jellyfish
things.
DNA where it just makes them glow in the dark.
Yeah, they did that for small monkeys because I think they wanted to prove that you could do it on larger apes. Because there was some concept where, like, back in the day, people wanted to do that on people. Yeah. They thought as far as, like, a safety issue goes, that could actually help under certain circumstances.
What if you don't want to be seen? What if you're hiding?
Well, then you shouldn't have thought about that before your parents turned you into, like, a jellyfish man. It's your own fault.
I should make one that's like they put spider silk proteins into the milk of goats at one point.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'd make an OC illustrate that visibly.
It boosted the amount of nutrition. Yeah, it's specifically protein. It's not as though they were shooting spider silk.
Although that would be a great idea.
That would also be pretty
cool.
Sure, yeah.
Just a milking goat that just shoots it out of every udder.
It's like Spider-Man, but it's a goat. And instead of coming out of his wrists, it comes out of the goat's teats. Like that's just the whole idea.
I'm probably never doing that. I'm constantly making new OCs and then never doing anything with them. We got anything good going on in there?
Yeah, a little bit.
What the fuck did you fucking say about me, you little trainer? I'll have you know I graduated top of my league in the Orange Islands. Oh, well, then it's not canon.
Hey, stop! I found these fossils.
Nerd.
They're both mine. There's your super nerd voice. And again, it looks like someone pushed him over, kicked sand in his face, and stole his fossil girlfriend now, I guess.
He also looks to be wearing skinny jeans. Was that even a thing in the 90s?
No.
I love that Grimer.
This is honestly, unironically, best Grimer.
Yes.
This is the best Grimer ever. Like, in any of the games. Even considering a Alolan Grimer, who I think is great, this is best Grimer.
Like, so, Grimer is one of those ones that should not make sense. It's like literally toxic sludge exposed to moonbeams. I was 10 and I read that and thought, that sounds dumb.
So did I.
Suspension of disbelief only goes so far for me, but you look at that beautiful angel face and you can't
so happy.
You can't hate him.
He's so excited to be alive.
Beautiful.
He's a fucking snot rocket, but he is so enchanting and his eyes are going in the wrong direction.
And he just wants a high 10 from you.
Yeah, he just wants a... Well, I don't think he has that many. He wants like a high 6.
No, he has a high 6.
Crimbo. Super Nerd is about to use Voltorb. Oh, no.
We don't really have anything that's good against that. Although, don't they not learn hardly any decent electric
they
moves?
learn Shockwave pretty early on, but that's about
but
it.
then it's like all like
Yeah,
Swift
it's
and Supersonic
Screech and
stuff.
Swift and things like that, yeah.
Swift never misses though, so that'll be annoying.
Yeah, but it's also not like electric, it's normal. And I don't
Yeah.
think that they learn it very early on, honestly. I think it
I
takes
don't
them
think
a bit.
so. Like 20 something.
Something like that. Maybe not 20, but I know
I don't
it's
know.
a bit along.
Yeah.
They know tackle forever. I remember because I remember trying to raise a Voltorb at one point. I think it really is just impossible to fucking do. I mean, obviously not literally impossible to do, but it's very difficult.
And not really worth it.
Coughing in this game is beautiful. And
I forget what he looks like.
Oh my god, he's amazing. It's upside down coughing.
Oh, I
Did you
forgot
forget
about that.
Yeah, red and blue.
That face too.
Red and blue's coughing is upside down. And he's got the big skull and crossbones on like his forehead, and he's just making the best face.
That face is like he knows that he's a perpetual fart. He knows he smelt it and dealt it, and he's just kind of laughing because he saw that you noticed.
He's like...
Forehead coughing, they should have used more.
Yes, forehead coughing could be, in and of its own right, a different breed of coughing.
Swear to God, someday we're going to go through and make a list of all the things we want in a Pokemon game and make our own, and it'll be great.
Yeah,
and everything will be regional variants.
If I import an Arbok from another game, I want it to have the same like hood style as the Arbok.
You know they stopped doing that after like 4th
I know
gen?
I know they did. And it's really sad, and I kind of don't like that they stopped.
Yeah, it really bothers me that they haven't continued making different Arbok hoods.
Yeah, I agree. Defeated
and
the Serpent
any Pokemon that gathers like materials from its environment, like Dwebble and Crustle or Burmy or whatever, regional variants. The trash on your city Burmy in Hoenn or... Well, no, they're a 4th gen.
Yeah.
In Sinnoh should be different from the trash on your Burmy in Unova. If it's in Unova, it should be covered in magazines in English.
Yeah.
If it's in Sinnoh, it can be whatever the... Was that like insulation?
It's
all
mostly
over it?
insulation. Also, maybe Trubbish could look different in different areas.
Yeah. If you get one in America, it should have Mountain Dew cans and Dorito wrappers. And if you get it in Japan, it's just Pocky boxes.
Okay, I'll share. Somebody in the chat, we need the chat to agree here. Are we doing the dome or the helix fossil?
Oh, that's important.
Because this is actually important, yeah. Everybody just scream out what you want, and we'll tally it up.
Yeah.
We'll give you a couple minutes.
Yeah, I always picked Ammonite. I don't remember why.
I went with Kabuto.
Yeah, I know. You just kind of like Kabutops.
Yeah, we literally just got done talking about that.
Yeah, you just like Kabutops in general.
I really like
I
Kabutops.
think just the big ol' eyes on Ammonite just kind of charmed me. But also, it's a Nautilus. I kind of like Nautiluses and Ammonites and general just prehistoric goopity babies.
If you don't remember which one's which, just say Kabuto or Ammonite, by the way.
I like squishy boys better than crusty boys, honestly. So, like, exoskeletons, they can still be cute, but you got this thing that's just this little tentacle kid, and it's like, yeah, I like him better. Amistar doesn't really appeal to me as much because it looks more monsterish and less like someone lobbed off Zoidberg's head and put a hat on him. It's a little more scary with its eyes, but it's still good. It's still cool.
Okay. Do you want to cut it off here or give it a little more time?
Give it some time. I'm going to stretch my back.
Okay.
Has anyone voted for Aerodactyl yet?
No, but we're gonna get Aerodactyl regardless. So
Yeah, no, it's an ironic vote.
Yeah, you get that as soon as you get cut, you get Aerodactyl.
Okay.
Alright, so we got, God. Steak Justice voted for both. We got a Kabuto, a Dome, which is a Kabuto, a Kabuto, and then an
They
Almanite.
want Kabuto. And it's your birthday stream, and you like Kabuto. And I like
5 to 2.
Yeah, and I like Almanite, but it doesn't matter to me, honestly.
Yeah, so Dome Fossil it is.
Okay.
We're probably gonna die halfway to Misty.
That's fine.
Just walking. Alright, then this is mine.
I really wish that the Super Nerd was an encounterable later in the game and he's got the Pokemon you didn't pick.
I really wish that there was another way to get the fossil.
That too. Oh, catch it, catch it.
I had looked down to read the chat. Almost ran away.
Why is Gust a normal type move in Gen 1?
That's a very good question,
well, flying is a weird type that was basically just built out of a scrapped bird type. And that's why everything's normal in flying, because that's the best way for them to have replicated what they wanted for the balance. So maybe that's it. Like Gust would be normal type because flying was just a big question mark?
Oh yeah, give us names for this Clefairy, I should say that. So go ahead and start suggesting as soon as you guys hear me say
My
this.
vote is we just name it Satoshi.
I just don't want to kill it is my main problem.
Yeah, or for it to kill you.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the ball now.
Yeah, seems like a good move. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All 20
there
fingers.
It is. Pink ball.
Nice.
Look at that.
Does it normally
It changes depending on the Pokemon you catch.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
the color
cool.
scheme of the ball changes depending on the Pokemon.
I wish that were really how it worked.
Yeah, actually, it's a Super Game Boy thing that causes that.
But can you imagine you catch it and then the top of the ball just gets a kind of like the Pokemon Shuffle orbs? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Where like it's got like a design just on the top half that indicates what's in it. In some adaptations, like in Pokemon Special, you can kind of see it through it. Like it has a see-through top. The red is transparentish, and you can just kind of see it sitting in there.
I think Pink Ball, by the way, may have been the level ball in Gen 2, yes. Somebody suggested that in the chat, and I think that might be right.
I don't remember.
I don't remember exactly, but I know that there were different colored balls during that generation, and I think that might have been the level ball.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And data. Its magical and cute appeal has many admirers. It is rare and found only in certain areas.
It's 2 feet tall and 17 pounds, did it say?
Something like that. You want to give a nickname to it? Sure.
Like I said, my vote's for Satoshi. Because it was originally the mascot, so it just seems like this is Ash's other Pikachu.
So I'll give you guys a couple more minutes, a couple seconds, I guess, to come up with a name for this thing while the music makes this horrible dinging.
Oh yeah, because we're dying.
Yeah, somebody suggested Wiggles. We can stick with Wiggles if you want to.
Let's see if anyone else has a name first.
Okay.
Every so often I glance over at the screen where you have this set up in OBS, and I'm just proud of myself of that sidebar.
The banner? Yeah, the banner's super nice. Well, it's sidebar, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
The overlay on the stream.
I like how you turned out on it, because I did something a little different with the way I drew your hair and beard, because you get haircut sometimes, so if I do it completely shaggy like you're a mess all the time, it's like it's not really what you look like.
No, people think I look terrible if you draw me shaggy and a mess all the time.
Oh, do people ever comment on how you look?
No, not actually.
You look
Although
like...
some people say I look like a bear sometimes, which isn't entirely wrong, honestly.
Yeah, you kind of are. But, like, you look like roughly a third of the internet, honestly.
Nah.
Just like this unassuming regular guy with a regular haircut who's got glasses and a beard.
So we've gotten Sailor Moon or Wiggles. I'm partial to Wiggles, to be honest.
Yeah, we can go with that.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon.
I don't know if Sailor Moon would fit, to be honest.
We could just say Serena or Usagi or something, but we might find something that would be better for a name like that.
Maybe.
Or Chibiusa would also fit.
Yeah. Maybe I should have then.
As a kid, I read mostly the Tokyo Pop translation, where they said her name was Serena, but that everyone calls her Bunny. So there is a version of Sailor Moon wherein instead of Serena or Usagi, it's just Bunny. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense.
It would have made
no one else
sense for it to have been Sailor Moon because it's Mt.Moon.
Yeah, that's why they said it.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh well. Wiggles is still good though. Route 4, Mt.Moon, Cerulean City. Oh yeah, somebody's poisoned. Not that it really matters.
Yeah,
we're on our way to a
dead
thing.
anyways.
So yeah, who really cares? Hold on.
Is there a secret item up here?
I believe there is, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me.
It
until
looks
I
like there
find
should
it.
be.
I swear to God, there's something up here.
Whatever.
Am I wrong?
I remember
No,
as a
I
kid
can't be
being really
wrong.
confused by the jump ledges for like a week when I first got this game.
It's just because it's supposed to be a plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crimbo fainted. Crimbo,
Because
you're
you
always
chucked
the
him
one
off
who,
of a
who
cliff.
faints. Crimbo's the one who faints from fucking poison all the time. There it is.
There you go.
Found
That
it.
was
I knew
worth
it was there. It is kind of worth it. It's a great ball. I mean, we'll be able to buy them later, but it's still kind of worth it. Let's see. Is there an item over here too? I don't even remember. No. Okay. Fair
Item
enough.
Finder in Gen 1 was useless, so what you're doing now to just mash the button while walking around is more effective than anything else.
A little bit, yeah. TM4, I forget what that is.
Me too. Who knows?
Let's see, that girl has a parasect. I remember that, but I don't think that we can fight her yet. And now we're in Cerulean, roughly?
Yeah.
There's
It
that
takes
little
a
patch
bit
of
to get
grass
back
back
around.
there. Oh, God. Oh,
Blue.
jeez, it was so
Well-
blue.
I'm glad to be out of the poop moon.
Yeah, it's nice to no longer be living in Poop Moon.
That sounds like a great name for the worst town that they threaten to send you to if you do bad in school.
That's what happens when, like, the world runs out of space for sewers. They just make a Poop Moon.
Yeah. We just directly hook a sewage pipe all the way up to the moon, anchors it to the earth, and just we spew poop at it, I guess.
I guess. Steak Justice has got to go. Yeah, that's fine.
Gotta finish watching this dumb sequel series. You watching Star Wars? I don't know what else you would be.
No, I don't know.
All Star Wars are
somebody
bad.
had the item finder out all the time in Y. I think I did too, to be honest, because the item finder in Y was super good. Gen 1's item finder was kind of...
It was barely even finding anything.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
My husband likes trading Pokemon. If you're a collector, would you please trade with him? He has a Jinx, I think.
Oh, is this the Jinx
Do you
guy?
want to trade your Poliwhirl for
Well, we
my
don't have
Jinx?
that.
No.
This is the only Jinx in the game, correct?
Yeah, that's the only way to get Jinx in Gen 1.
Didn't you at one point find some weird, obviously grimdark theory that the Jinx is just a kid in a wig?
Or something like that. Yeah, it's some weird fucking suggestion people make. Is that, oh, wait, that guy's actually, like, slave trading in some way. And it's like, oh, no.
Dragon Ball Super
please don't
isn't
suggest
dumb.
that.
Dragon Ball Super is no less dumb than any other version of Dragon Ball, and Shark Steak Justice can just sit there and not watch it if he thinks it's dumb. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people aren't really into Super.
Pokemon badges are owed only by skilled trainers. I see you have at least one.
Thanks.
Those badges have amazing secrets. Now then, which of the 8 badges should I describe? None
Oh,
of
I
them,
forgot
please.
this was even a
Come
thing.
visit me anytime you wish. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But a lot of people don't like Super, but it's like, I don't know. It's nice to have the chance to look at Dragon Ball characters again.
Yeah,
in new content.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it doesn't massacre anyone in a way that's super insulting. I mean, people get mad that Tien doesn't get more screen time, but it's like, at least he's there. Yeah, a huge amount of Dragon Ball is super dumb. That's what it's dumb good.
Yeah, it's good dumb.
It's fun dumb.
Slowbro, withdraw. No, that's wrong. It's so hard to control Pokemon.
No, it's not.
Your Pokemon's obedience depends on your abilities as a trainer. And it's like, what?
Honestly, they should have just given the trainer levels instead of doing the badge
Slowbro
system.
is loafing around.
If they had just had you level up from some sort of criterion instead of having to do the badges, it would have been less annoying to have to go all the way over to another town.
Do you remember that in this game, your badges also cause your Pokemon stats to become better?
What?
Do you know that?
I may have at some point
You're a
in the
trainer
past.
too? Collecting fighting, it's a tough life. I'm pretty sure you gain stats from badges in this, which is really, really unusual and is the only game, to my knowledge, in which that
Yo,
happens.
champ in the making. Here's my advice. Jump in the water.
The
Live
leader
there, die
Misty
there.
is a pro who uses water Pokemon. You can drain all their water with plant Pokemon, or zap them with electricity.
You have not leveled up Microwave.
Nope. I like going over here because it's so fucking like, why?
You gonna talk to that guy?
That's the only way to well, I mean, you can walk around and yeah, I'm probably gonna talk to that guy. We'll
Yeah,
see.
sneak up on him from behind when he's expecting you on
Yeah,
the
he'll be
docks.
so angry at me, he'll have to fight me.
Who
and
would
then
design
lose.
a pool this way? Who would want to swim in a pool with a dock
Okay.
in the middle?
Hear me out. I know what this is. This is not a dock. This is not even real ground. The pool is the stuff I'm walking on right now.
Yeah,
This
the tile.
is like rubber rafting that they have
Oh.
put down as
maybe.
walkable surfaces. I think that's how I have interpreted it.
I don't know, it looks like a dock to me.
Splash! I'm first up. Let's do it.
Ew. He has bubbles.
Yeah, he's got them little bubbles.
That's weird.
It's strange.